It's time to start Dishin Days with your hosts, Tony Moore, Michael Mattis, Justin Lee Hareld, and Araceli Aviles. And now, let's dish. Oh, hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Dishin Days, where we're serving up a full dish of this week's episodes of Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. If you haven't already, make sure you like us and follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads. Also, please be so kind. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Why? Because you'll never miss when we're going live or when we've uploaded some great content for you. And while you're there, take a look at past episodes and other interviews from your favorite Days cast members, all brought to you by the fine folks here at Dishin Days. So go ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and make it a great day. Also, if you want to be a part of our exclusive members only exclusive page, you can hit the join button while you're on your laptop or computer on our YouTube channel. And for $4.99 a month, yes, $4.99 a month and only $4.99 a month, you will be able to see some amazing content, plus participate in our bi-monthly virtual events where we get together and really talk about Days of Our Lives. So don't miss out on that. Join us today. I always feel like I sound like an infomercial when I do that. For you. If you can't watch our beautiful faces live on our YouTube channel and need to take us on a car ride or a picnic, or if you're shoveling through 8 feet of snow, you can listen to all the stunt shows and shenanigans brought to you by us at Dishin Days. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, or where all podcasts can be found. But remember, Google Podcasts doesn't exist anymore. Wah, 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 wah. Because I said it again. It's just ingrained in me to say it, even after all this time. Also, make sure you show some love to our former co-host and my chocolate twin, Mr. James Lott Jr., who is serving up a couple of dishes of his own. For a full soap opera fix, make sure you head over to JLJ Media on YouTube to find recaps of Beyond the Gates, Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless, General Hospital, and some original audio dramas brought to you by JLJ Media. So do us a favor, go over and subscribe to his channel or find him where all podcasts can be found. Because James Lott Jr. is such a dear friend, I just call him old. That's it. Yeah. And of course, throughout our show today, we will be sounding off. Yes, we have clips of each from some of you who have decided to sound off of some of our top storylines and, of course, our tidbits. So stay tuned for that. But before we dive deep into the shenanigans from this week in Salem, we have brought a familiar face on to talk about an upcoming production of Misery here in Los Angeles. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, you know her as Connie Valensky, but to us, she's always just Julie Dove. Welcome, Miss Julie Dove, everybody. Yay!
Hi.
She's back. She's escaped Bayview.
What I have on my desk, it's my Dishin Days award. It's like I feel like I didn't post enough on social media after it, but it really means so much to me. So I just want to thank you all for that again. So thank you. It's right here on my desk, next to my Webbies.
I mean, Julie, one thing that I love and admire about you is your consistent grind and hustle. And we've talked about this so much. I was so happy when you landed the role of Connie and what you did with it and how you portrayed her and really carried, that storyline from beginning to the end. So you winning a Dishin Days award, voted on by fans, greatly deserved because you really did an amazing job with Connie. So, and I think she really could be still terrorizing people if they didn't lock her up in Bayview. You know what? She should have been Rachel's friend.
Well,
I know.
I don't know if you've been listening.
Those are my decisions, but that would have been a nice thing.
We wrote you into that storyline. I think a few weeks ago, we were like, Connie's there. Kim Coles' character's there.
I would love for us all to have, like, I pitched an idea to the social media person, Heather. I said, we should have Bayview Book Club as like a online thing. And it's just us filming like little episodes of us crazy people having a book club.
Oh my God, I love that.
Just have
the non-crazy people can't even handle a book club. So
exactly.
after this week.
Wait, can I have my sound off before we talk about Misery? I'm 2 months behind, 3 months behind now on the show. I'm trying to get caught up before the fan event. But, so I just started the first week in November, and I'm losing my mind over Sarah and Xander's storyline. So, like, why do they make him so angry? Like, it's either he's better or he's not. Okay, that's my sound off.
So Connie, Julie, you're behind, but you're right on time. You're
okay. I'm just like
you haven't missed much.
Yeah.
No.
Unfortunately,
it's still going on. So
that's it's days. What can I say? But speaking of your grind and hustle, we are looking forward to your upcoming production of Misery, which will be playing here in Los Angeles starting January 31st, all the way until February 15th on Saturdays and Sundays. How did I want to ask how this came about, but again, when I feel like you're a part of something, you're producing something, it's like, I'm not surprised. I feel like Julie was just sitting there and was like, this will be good. And then you just like make it happen. So how did the idea of producing Misery come about?
Well, let me first say that Sean Ferris, who is known to most of us as Sherry's husband, but he's an incredible actor. Look him up on IMDb if you hadn't. I mean, he's got such an incredible body of work. He is not feeling well, and he hasn't been for a few days. So he's missed a few rehearsals, and he called this morning and said, I'm really going to try to do the interview. But then we talked at 2, and he's just really not feeling great. So as the producer, I was like, you have to just keep resting. We're in what's called the tech process right now. So the actors come and just kind of stand in positions while the lights and sound cues are happening. So he's not, and we want him there, trust me, but he's not missing anything that's like harming the process. So he sends his love, and he looks forward to saying hello to any of the fans we have some fans coming to the shows on some different dates that have reached out to me. And then those of you that are coming to the Starstruck event. So I just want to say that, and let me talk about the production. So I feel like that our industry just gets harder and harder. And I really thought, I guess naively so, that after Days of Our Lives, those are considered guest star credits. And so that's 30 guest star credits I have, including the ones I already had. I thought that would really be like a launching pad for me, but it hasn't been. And I don't think that's because of my talent. It's, the people the way the industry works is the people that have always been series regulars, now they're doing series where they're doing 10 episodes at a time versus 23. So they're getting cast on multiple series. And so the series regulars are doing the guest star roles, and the guest star people are doing the co-star roles. And the people like me that were new in the guest star world are back down to auditioning for co-stars and guest stars. So I had happened as an actor on Days of Our Lives. And, my age and my look is not necessarily what Hollywood's looking for leading TV shows or movies. So I feel like producing your own projects is the way to just, continue to be able to grow as an artist and then share it with the people that you care about that can maybe come out and see it. So when I was developing the role of Connie, when I got that first script and realized she was a murderer, as I got more and more scripts, I, started just kind of doing some research and thinking of references of, some really good psychotic characters that also seemed normal. So, Norman Bates and Annie Wilkes were two of the characters that I really looked at. And I'd never seen Misery. Obviously, I'd seen a million clips of it, and I knew, but I watched it and I was like, oh, this is interesting. And, there's so many reasons why that's relevant to Connie, but Annie's even more complex.
Mhm.
So I thought about, I thought about that a lot through my performance. And then I went to New York and I went to the drama bookshop, which Lin-Manuel Miranda owns, from
Mhm.
Hamilton. And I went in there to buy a copy of it when I was in New York for the Webbies.
Mhm.
And I ran into him in there when I was buying a copy of it. And I was like, oh, this is kind of like all like, oh, maybe this is like really inspiring me. And then it sat on my desk for about 4 months. And then I was just like, I want to do this. And it's absolute most ridiculous, scary thing I've ever done. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. The budget is double what I thought it would be, and I am not a wealthy person at all. So, but it's an investment. People make short films and spend money and things like that. So
Yeah.
I just keep telling myself that. But and I have a full-time day job now, which is something I think actors should also be more open about. So I'm a receptionist from 9 to 5 for State Farm. I play the role of your good neighbor, is what I say every morning. I get to do it here from home, but I'm busy from 9 to 5. And when I did days, my mom had passed shortly before that, so I wasn't working because I had some money from selling her house, and so I had every day, all day, to prep for days.
Yeah.
So this we would rehearse from 7 to 10 at night after working from 9 to 5. And then we started rehearsing from 6 to 10, but the prep time was really on the weekends. And, so it's been pretty wild and crazy, but that's where like the whole idea of it came from. And then, I knew that if I did it, I wanted to try to have an event that included some Days fans. So I reached out to the starstruck people, but, my background is in theater. I have a bachelor's and a master's in theater, and that's where I thought I was going to, grow up and be a soap opera actor in New York and do theater there, whatever. So half of that's been true. But I've only done like 4 shows on stage in LA the last 20 years. So coming back in with like, I'll just be the lead of a 60-page script is like, or the co-lead was it was a big leap, but I mean, I'm glad I did it. I've learned so much about myself. I've just found the most incredible people that other actors I know connected me with that do work in theater all the time. And then Sean has also not done a lot of theater. And so it's been kind of fun watching him learn about stuff that he's done one play before that was a 1-act play. So he's gotten to learn a lot of stuff through this process. And he's the most incredible like study of anything, way ahead of me during this whole process. Because I was producing and acting and everything else. But that's kind of how it all came about.
Well, I mean, I love doing theater. I did a lot of community theater back home. And the theater community was, it was like a small, group of people. And like a lot of times when shows go up, it will be a lot of the same familiar people. And I was always in the ensemble, but there's nothing more gratifying than like doing a show and like hearing the audience, react to things and things like that. So I love it. I feel like you're going to have such a blast doing this.
I mean, I think it's going to be great, but I can't sit here and say I'm not scared to death. I have that good actor fear, though. Do you know what I mean? We've done a ton of run-throughs, and they've been great. But just the other day, I was driving to rehearsal. I was like, oh, my God, we're going to have an audience soon, and I haven't done a play in front of an audience in, 10 years, I think, and I haven't been the lead since I played Miss Firecracker in 1995 in a stage play. So yeah, it's and this show has a lot going on. There is a lot of technical things happening in this show that I probably didn't take too much into account when I was like, we're gonna do Misery.
But it also makes sense, and I there was a part of me that wasn't surprised because I was like, because you played Connie so well, and Connie is very much, similar to Annie Wilkes, right?
Yeah,
very, very similarities. And so I was like, yeah, this could be something that again continues to show off, that part of you, and so it's good. I mean, kudos to you because people don't understand, self-producing things is a lot of work, and it takes a lot. I mean, our lovely little show that we just
you guys know
keep going, it takes a lot of work. So we obviously commend you for putting this on. So kudos to you.
We
Yeah.
have
Music and starring in.
Yes.
we have a small team of people, you guys, and also the guy playing Buster, John Venable. He's also from Texas, so it's just kind of a fun coincidence that Sean, John, and I are all from Texas.
Mhm.
But we're it for the cast, and we don't have a big backstage crew. John, who plays Buster, is doing like a lot of the backstage crew stuff that. And you'll see a little bit more about what that means when you see the show. I don't want to spoil this one big surprise we have with the set.
Okay.
But it's and then we just have a director and a stage manager, and then we had a lights person, a props person that we hired, the set person, but they're not at the show. So for the actual show, we're just like a team of 5 people.
Wow.
So and normally
Literally
you would
all
do
hands
like
on
this
deck.
with like 15 or 20 people. And we do have an interesting twist. I'd mentioned to Tony, we do have a fight choreographer for those stunt moments. And her name is Lisa Dempsey. She's a very accomplished stunt woman. She played my stunt woman on Days of Our Lives when Gabi pushed me down. And then she also played Julie when Julie was pushed down the stairs on Days of Our Lives.
Oh.
So she has a little Days of Our Lives connection. And she's just
Yeah.
wonderful. I met her on set and we became friends.
Go ahead, Justin.
I'm curious. I know you said you only, because one of my big questions was who influenced who. Did Annie influence your portrayal of Connie? Did Connie influence you wanting to take on Annie? But it seems like you said you only watch clips of Misery. So have you found that Connie now has influenced this portrayal of Annie since?
Well, I ended up watching the whole show of the whole movie of Misery before Connie aired.
Okay.
But I will say I have worked very, very hard to not bring Connie into Annie.
Got it.
Because I do think that there is a difference between the two. And I have not read Stephen King's novel. Like I'm not embarrassed to say that. But I know there's a lot more of Annie in the novel, and I've dug into a little of that. But I didn't want, it's very different from the play. And you kind of have to, as far as like her detailed past of how evil she really is, that's not in the script of the play. And so as an actor, you kind of have to work with the script you have in front of you. Yeah. So I felt like it would kind of be like, I don't know if cheating or lazy, but I didn't think it was good to use the novel as a reference because the script is written by, let's put it on here somewhere, William Goldman, who wrote the screenplay.
Yes.
So, he adapted the screenplay from the book and then he adapted the novel to the play. So I'm trying to work with what William Goldman has given me in this script. So I do think they're different. And I actually, when I first hired the director and associate director, I said, I sent them links to my Days of Our Lives clips, and I said, I absolutely need you to call me out in rehearsal if you think I'm playing this character, because that's not what I want to be doing. This is not an extension of that. To play this role was just inspired because I played a person with some serious psychosis before.
No. Speaking of the cast, like how did the cast come about? You obviously have this idea, you're playing the lead, but then how did everyone else become a part?
Well, you always kind of like any project you hear about in Hollywood. I had a lot of people in mind that I thought would do certain things, and then, schedules and life happens. So that didn't work out. So I hired a casting director, an award-winning casting director that I know named Shana Sherwood, one of the first casting directors when I met here in town. And she took on that process for me in that I would just go through IMDb and through my Facebook and Instagram and look at actors that I, felt like I could connect with and, that had a body of work that I felt could not be intimidated by taking on the role. And so we kind of worked off a list from that. And, we talked to a lot of people. And the thing about Sean is that my whole thing during the process was I need someone as excited to play Paul as I was to play Annie. Versus like, I don't know, this is a hard schedule. Because it was a hard schedule. I mean, we were rehearsing for months longer than a play normally would because we've had these short rehearsals. Normally a play rehearses for 4 or 5 weeks, but for like 5 or 6 hours a night. So, and then we've had some breaks in between. Sean had to go out of town. The director had to go out of town. We were off for 2 weeks, the holidays, but it was a very spread out process compared to what someone normally commits to for the small amount of pay that I'm paying them. So it's for the love of the theater. So when we talked to Sean on a Zoom, he was like, I'm so honored that you want to talk to me about this. This is like the most incredible opportunity. He was just so excited and as excited as me. So that was just like an immediate, like we got off the Zoom and like we found our Paul. And then for Buster, we auditioned like 10 guys, and I got to tell you, every one of them would have been perfect, like absolutely perfect in a different way, including Jonah, who plays Dr. Mark Green.
Oh,
100 Days
yes.
of Our Lives. But everyone we had read for it just had a completely different take.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's interesting when you're an actor, and I've done a little casting stuff before, but when you see it like that, you're like, oh my God, they're all so good. But like, which version do we want? And then we just kind of went with John because I don't know, he just brings something really unique and special to it. And I even told the other actors, I'm like, I normally wouldn't even do this, but like, each of you truly did an incredible job. And this was like a very difficult decision. And your performance would have been great. We're just going in this different direction, which sounds like such a BS thing to say, but it was true. I was like, this is truly we're just going in a different direction moment. And they were all grateful that I'd sent that email. But so that's how the casting came about.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I feel like when it comes to casting, like you can see so many different people, but then there's always something about someone or a couple of people where you're like, that's the one that like you just have a feeling about it. Like you can't describe it, but it's like you just know, like, yep, that's the guy or the gal.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the plot of the play and then the context of everything, putting it together is scary enough. Julie, I know we've talked a lot about the anxiety of just putting all that together, and then the anxiety of that everyday stuff. And then you top it all on the fact that this is one of the great films that Rob Reiner did in his body of work that won Kathy Bates the freaking Oscar. And it's hard not to have that top of your mind going into it when you say, like, I have to be in the zone, I have to be into it. And I think I mentioned to you when we talked once that I watched a special recently on him, and one of the things that struck me when Kathy Bates was talking about the way that she was performing in that is that she was allowed a lot of freedom to kind of like do things that were separate from the screenplay and separate from the book. Do you feel that in you, or do you feel like a little more freedom to kind of now work off of the screenplay, but have your own space as Annie Wilkes?
I think so. Like, there's some stuff some notes the director gave me early on that I said, when I'm really off book and we're in the zone, I'm going to show you some different things that I would like to try. And so she was like, yeah, no, that's fine. So we have incorporated some things that I really wanted to do that were probably a little bit of a different take than what the director had in mind originally. And so I always feel good when you can collaborate with someone like that. So yeah, it's been really great. And I'm glad that I only saw Misery once. I did recently just watch one scene on YouTube because I just was like, really dying to remember how she did this thing. But it was a technical thing more than the acting. So, I mean, anytime you play a role that someone famous has played, it's like super scary. So, hopefully people won't compare and be like, well, she's not as good as Kathy Bates, but I'm not Kathy Bates, so I'm not trying to imitate her. And I do feel I got to bring my own work to it. And our director is very experienced actress and sought after director of live theater here in town, and Herm Tobolowsky. Her husband, Stephen Tobolowsky, is one of the most known character actors in the business. If you Google him, you'll be like, oh, that guy. So she's just, she's really great. And she brings a lot of ideas, but she also asks a lot of questions. I really like it when a director says, what if we try this versus go do this, go do that. So, and unfortunately, in the soap opera world, that is a lot of what we had to do. So you just had to come with whatever your idea was. They're like, we like what you do. You're going to bring it and let's go. So the fact that we've had time to, chat and like make some collaborative decisions has been great.
Yeah. Has anyone reached out to Kathy Bates to come and see this production of?
Well, interestingly enough,
would you want that, or if you knew she was?
I would not want to know if she was
no.
there. I would absolutely not want someone to go backstage and go, and Kathy Bates is here.
Yes.
Lisa Dempsey, our stunt coordinator, she has been Kathy Bates' stunt double for the last 10 years.
What?
And when I first hired her, she was like, "Oh, I'm going to get Kathy to come." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then she worked on Matlock a few weeks ago, and she goes, "Oh, I'm going to talk to Kathy about this." But she did not see Kathy that day, so I mean, I'm kind of glad she didn't. She has invited the producers of Matlock, which would be great because listen, girl would like to be on Matlock.
Yes,
Get
absolutely.
me on a network show, please.
Yeah.
Co-star, guest star, I'm your girl.
Same. I think we are all in the hire me kind of state.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You go, Justin.
Oh, I just question. What is it? Something surprising that's happened during rehearsals, either about the process or something surprising you found out about yourself or the material, or have you had sort of a?
I mean, I will say a kind of negative thing because I'm so hard on myself. I think you guys know I have this tattoo that says "I am enough" as a reminder because I don't remember it often. I did not get off book by our off book deadline, and I had months to do it. But I just couldn't find the time with producing and working full time, and my dog was sick, and you guys, I developed tendonitis, and then I fell and broke my ankle after rehearsal in November.
My God.
So it was just a lot going on. So that surprised me, but I will say I did get off book 3 weeks later, and I pretty much learned the whole thing in 3 weeks.
My God.
So, I mean, that turned out to be a positive, and now it's just been like fine tuning it and everything. So that was like a surprising process to me because I really just thought, oh, you'll be able to cram it in and get it done, but I could not. And, you know, I was very communicative to everyone about it. Sorry, you can hear my dog. She's probably disappointed I wasn't off book either. So that was interesting. And then I think just like, it's so weird to say this because I used to jokingly say about Connie, like she's really a great person except for the killing, you know. And I do feel like there's so many things about Annie Wilkes that I relate to in that she wants to be loved. She's lonely. She connects with this fictional world because it brings her, it makes her feel she's not alone in the world. And I mean, I think that's like how I started watching soap operas, you know? Yep. So, you know, thankfully I didn't grow up and kill people because of it.
I mean, yeah, we're happy about that too.
I'm saying, like, you know, it's weird because you don't want to sound like you're advocating for, you know, people that harm people, but you know, everyone has something we can relate to, you know? Even the darkness in people, like we all just have lots of layers enough. And I was just surprised at how much empathy I had for Annie Wilkes through this process and how much I've developed in some of the what I consider touching moments that she has.
Yeah.
What was it like? Because I know you obviously already knew Sean prior to him being cast. You know, since you're good friends with Sherry. But what's it been like building this bond? Because you know, it's just, you know, majority of the play is you two just stuck in a room and you holding him captive, and there's a certain level of trust that has to go into when it's just two people going off of each other. What's it like been building that bond with each other as actors?
Well, it's been great, but I've got to tell you guys, I only met Sean one time because he's always babysitting when I spend time with Sherry. and so we all went to dinner once with her family, and when we went to dinner, I don't know if you guys have ever met little guy Phoenix, Sherry's son. He's the cutest, but he is very energetic. And so during dinner, they would take turns going outside with Phoenix. So I didn't even get to spend that much time with Sean that night. So it was kind of funny. Like this was really our first like get to know each other. But you know, I think it was great because, like I said, he's so incredibly talented and so incredibly prepared that you could not ask for a better person to do a two-person show with, that you know he is there and ready for whatever. So, and hopefully he feels the same way about me. I think he does. And so, yeah, I mean, he's great, and it's been really fun. And so now I feel like, you know, I'm close to the whole family, which is nice.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about it here on the show, but on closing night, you have an event, and you mentioned it as well with Starstruck Fan Events. It's a event where not only can fans see the show, but they can also have a chance to meet all of these wonderful people. So we just want to remind people about that. Anything else you want to share or talk about this event? Julie, like, do you want to?
Well, I
Mhm.
do know, I know when people promote events, myself sometimes included, they say there's only a few tickets left, but there really is only 8 tickets left for that show
Mhm.
Oh,
total. Like, because Starstruck has blocked off 23 and
yeah.
Sean has blocked off for his family. So there's,
Uh-huh.
and then we've sold some tickets to other people. So if
Yeah.
you want to come to that show, whether you're going to go to the reception or not, that show has 8 tickets left. I think it might even be 7 because someone told me they were buying a ticket today.
Yeah.
But we have a good amount of tickets available for the other shows if you're in the area.
Mhm.
And if you do come to the show, like I said, I do know some Days fans that have reached out and said everyone that buys a ticket, I Google them and I go on Facebook and see if I'm friends with them. And I'm so surprised that like some of the Days fans are from out of town are coming. So if you come to the
Yeah.
show, just hang out afterwards. It may take me a minute to clean all the blood off of me, but I'll be out to say hello and everything. So, I want everyone to come. Would love for you to come hang out at the fancy reception, but don't feel like you have to spend the money for that. But if you got the money, it's going to be a big party. So
Yeah. Well, Julie, we are super excited. We are we're now crossing our fingers that opening night still happens and that everyone's healthy and ready for the show. But we're planning to come support you on opening night, and
Yes.
we're very excited for the production and excited to see what you've been working on and the hard work that you've put into this. So
thank you guys so much for your
congratulations.
just continued support. I love staying connected with all of you and the Days community. You're all like family. So thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Absolutely. And then just to remind everyone, you can see Misery here in Los Angeles starting January 31st and every Saturday and Sunday until February 15th at Moving Arts in Los Angeles. Tickets are only $35 and you can purchase them at miseryplayla.com. And if you are a senior citizen or nerd, those are some discounts that you can utilize there.
February 8th is Super Bowl Sunday. So that's why, like, if you're a
Oh.
theater nerd, please come join us. All the big
Oh.
games going on.
Oh, that's good.
Well-
Marketing.
Well, we'll be celebrating our 11th anniversary on February 8th. So
Oh my gosh. I'm so
Yeah.
happy to have been a part of what you guys have been doing the last couple of years. So
oh my
yay.
gosh, it's
Yeah.
only I can reflect on the past 11 years. That's a long time.
That's a long time. I know.
Yes.
I can't wait to see all of you on opening night. And I said to Sean, like, we may have to just cancel opening night, and he said, "Oh no, the show must go on." So
Yeah.
he's gonna rally. He
Yes.
is a very healthy, motivated guy. He's just gonna rest and be a superstar that he is.
Yes, he is, and we send our love and healing over to Sean. We know, as you mentioned, that he's sick, and so we just hope he feels better. If he's watching, hi Sean, feel
Yeah.
better. Make sure you're laying in that bed so that she can crack those ankles on Friday or Saturday.
The hobbling must go on.
The hobbling must go on. Well, Julie, thank you so much for popping on, and
Thank you.
again, congratulations to you. And break a leg, which you will,
Yeah.
on
Break 2 legs. Yeah.
Break an
two
ankle.
legs. Break an ankle during this production of Misery. And
But not yours.
congratulations again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you guys so much. Mwah.
you're
Best
so
of luck.
welcome.
Yeah.
And we'll see you Saturday.
This is the day.
Ah,
Doodles.
Toodles.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, yay. That's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. And again, like, people don't understand in this industry, like, you have to do things, on your own. So if you are in the LA area or coming in, please support, show up and support. It's going to be great. Now, switching back to the gears of our lovely shenanigans and cast of Days of Our Lives, before we dive into it, as usual, what did we think about this week's episodes?
Meh.
I was
Decent.
distracted a lot.
For me, a couple storylines I was really into, and then the rest I was like, okay,
Yeah.
It's a little clunky this week.
Yeah. I feel like I really didn't pay attention to Thursday, Friday for some reason. And I don't know.
Friday ended, and I was like,
What?
I was like, what did I just want?
Yeah.
It's my fault for like, I really need to like be better about not having my phone. Like I need to be, and I can't be one of those people that just locks it up because I don't have that much self-restraint, but yeah.
And sometimes you just, there's so much stuff that needs to be done that you're just like, I
Well,
to
and now I
multitask.
went back on Facebook last week, so now I have another doom scrolling,
Yeah.
option. Yeah, and whatever.
Oh boy.
I need to exercise self-restraint. That aside, it was one of those, it wasn't a terribly exciting week, but it also wasn't a terrible week. It just, there was no exciting events,
Yeah, no, there was nothing
Some of it was
exciting.
sad.
There's a person in every storyline for me to hate.
Yeah. Well, it's I feel like maybe we can sum up this week's episodes with this. Wait, damn it.
Okay.
Never mind. It doesn't work.
I hate her. Okay,
That's
yes,
it.
that was the storyline I was interested in too.
Yeah, that was quite interesting. I'm actually very curious to what Araceli is going to say, since she knows a therapist, and what she thought about how the therapist did this week. So with that, let's break it on down, everybody. It is now time to start
2, 1. Dishin
Dishin
Days.
Days. Well, that's about as close as we're going to get to it. Let's kick things off with our top storylines, everybody. We have, starting things off with
the collective.
This was the most infuriating, but also I thought the most interesting storyline. Like both, I thought.
For me, it was more infuriating than
Yeah,
interesting. The fact that this had to be like it. Yeah,
we're talking about the Demira versus.
We're talking about the
Devereaux.
stupid mediation that probably
Yeah.
have to happen, and yeah.
Here's the thing. I think for me, it's Jennifer still harping on the fact that Kat impersonated Abigail and not being able to look at it from her point of view, because they've all been through that situation where they've had to do something that they didn't want to do in order to do something, right?
And none of them are perfect. None of them act so fucking sanctimonious, and they've all done shit. And when
it's
sorry.
It was just annoying because and then to realize that you have this kid dictating do you know how many times as a kid we've probably all said, I hate my parents because they wouldn't let us do something? That didn't mean we were, and listen, there are some little kids who do the whole, I'm running away, and they pack up 2 toys and some drawers and they walk outside, and then they get 2 steps and they turn around and they're like, Mommy. Kids do that. And so for them to have this whole mediation thing regarding that, I thought was ridiculous. And then the second Chad was like, she had a pill addiction. Chad, that's low. I'm like, but she did.
I was like, shut up, Jack. She did. It's like, that's not relevant here. It's absolutely relevant. Like, I'm sorry, like, nothing against people with addictions. It's obviously something very terrible to have to deal with.
Right.
But it is relevant.
Very relevant. And Jack, we hadn't even scratched the surface with you and what you did.
The addiction, on that point, I will say the addiction alone, because I am greatly supportive of recovering addicts and recovering alcoholics. The addiction alone would never be the issue for me. The issue is the issue that Chad doesn't know, which I've been waiting, and I guess it's not going to happen. I've been waiting for somebody to bring it up, for Gwen to intervene and say, she ran me over when she was high, right?
Right.
Now, see, I couldn't remember if Chad.
See, like a crime committed when you were under the influence. That's a very different thing.
We all forget that, Miss Jennifer Devereaux. It's like with that whole mediation, it was like, girl, and then to dictate, have to put the clause of like, you can't ever have any type of relationship. I would have been like, you can't
Let's
tell
go
me
to
what
court.
to do.
Like, fuck.
Like, what?
I was
like,
waiting for the mediator to be like, what are we doing here? This is what this is about. That's what this is ridiculous.
I mean,
So they're back to square one, except now it's in writing, which at the end, I don't know about you guys, but I was like, okay, is this a way for them to just break off this couple that didn't work out anyway? Like, is this the final nail in the coffin to say that we're moving Anna Lynn over to someone else? Like, you know what I mean? Why make it such a big thing? I was like, okay, was this all a device to like officially separate them and then have it be in writing so that Chad can't go to her, so that they can move Chad to someone else, they can move her to someone else?
I mean, I can't. I would not presume to even want to know what the intent was behind this, because what ended up happening with this storyline is the only thing in my mind that this storyline accomplished was making us all hate Jennifer.
Yeah.
Yes. And to your point, Justin, of like, you know, what are they doing to like wean Kat off of Chad? Well, thanks to Salem Singles, it looks like they're gonna put Chad and Belle together.
Hmm.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Right.
They haven't even.
Yeah, because it happened.
I'm not even.
again.
I'm not even.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. It's like, well, you know, I couldn't respond because I was kidnapped. It's like,
we'll cross that unfortunate bridge if and when we ever get back to it, which I hope will be never.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not opposed to it yet, because it's one of those moments where you're like, oh, I didn't really think about putting them together.
Mm-hmm.
Salem is small, so like, you know, why not see them on a date? If it works out, it works out. It doesn't, it doesn't. Like, I'm not whatever either way. I'm still kind of team Belle and EJ. Like, I feel like there was a lot there, but you know,
Belle and EJ are just like that. We're, you know, it's like icky because of the EJ Sammy history. However, it's a great soap relationship.
Yeah,
they have chemistry. There's drama behind it. They're fiery, you know.
Yeah,
they're both attorneys, so it can be like a heated rivalry thing.
Ooh, heated rivalry.
Unfortunately, the problem is they don't want to like budge either character. It's like he's too evil and she's too good. You know what I mean? It's like, I think a different storyline would have had them like meeting in the middle on something, or like conspiring together, or like, you know what I mean? Like letting her guard down, or he becomes a little bit better. And we've seen they're not willing to do that. So it was like, okay, why? This couple is at a crossroads that, you know, never really got off the ground. But
yeah, I don't know.
I did appreciate that he like stood his ground. This was the only part I liked about this storyline, was when he was talking to Thomas. I didn't like the fact that they put that as part of the agreement, because it was like, that's a little too much for me. But I did like him sort of growing a spine, at least. That's been a bit consistent with him about not letting the children run the lives of the parents. And he's been the only person to say that this whole storyline, and really talking to Thomas being like, no, because I can't give you the ability to hold things over my head as the parent. Like,
yeah. And then bringing Jennifer freaking down to earth and saying, no, it's a conversation between me and my son, not you.
Yeah. And then him putting that clause in there just to, you know, gain the trust of his son. I'm like, girl.
But I still don't feel Jennifer got it, though. I still don't feel like she gets it. Do you know what I mean? I feel like
she doesn't.
It wasn't really resolved.
She doesn't. She's so hypocritical, and she's
if anything,
so
she feels like she got her way. She got her way.
Yeah.
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 Because you can't fathom or understand how.
I want there to be a moment, and I don't know how it would come about, where Jennifer needs Kat for something, and Kat is in the position to help Jennifer or not.
I still think that the day is going to come when Kat's identity as an ISA agent is going to come very much into play. I don't know in what way, but that's a secret that's been dangling for almost a year now. And I recall I said way back when that there was no way because Shane knew her identity and because actually Andrew, what we found out later on in the summer last summer, that Andrew was actually her handler, that they both knew. So that means that both Donovan and Men knew when Kat first came on the scene, she was pretending to be Abigail. They knew that whole time who she really was.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm waiting for whenever the real story comes out about who she is, that she was also an ISA agent, I'm waiting for that other shoe to drop for people to get like, there were some people who knew that she was lying and said nothing. I feel like, I think that's an important carrot to leave dangling out there.
Yeah.
Because Jennifer wants to be in this isolated world where only her feelings matter. And I just want somebody to bring her down to earth and say, wake up, your issues and your hurt feelings and your trauma are not the only ones that exist.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're not the only ones that want to sound off about how great and wonderful this is. Let's hear from Megan.
Hey guys, it's Megan Bizzaro from Massachusetts. This week, I am going to sound off because I'm a little annoyed with the Chad Thomas thing. I think it's kind of weird and inappropriate that a kid could dictate who their parent dates. And I know we want to protect our children, and it's really important to do that. But putting a clause in a legal document, that's kind of a big ask. I'm wondering if Chad might be able to help Thomas understand why he started to trust Kat, and maybe then Thomas might eventually like her too. It might take a while, but wouldn't that be nice? I wish that would happen.
Thing. Maybe have a chat with your child and say, this, communicate. You don't have to communicate a whole lot, but also go build a block. Like, girl, get out of here.
We'll see, because it's all been fueled by Jennifer. Like, as we saw, like Thomas remember the kids were kept away from that, so they never knew that she pretended to be Abigail. So until Jennifer butted in, or I guess technically Rachel and Jennifer butted into this, Thomas was totally fine with Kat. And it's, I don't know, maybe her not being around maybe as much might well, it's weird now because they put it in agreement. So I don't know. This is very odd to like.
Very odd. Odd is the word.
Yeah, very odd that this is the solution. And I'm like, okay, so they get the kids in the summertime, which is probably they would have already had the kids then anyway. Like,
yeah.
What did you accomplish with all this? You accomplished that Kat and Chad now are never going to be together. Like, that was your I guess that was your main point in all this, but.
That is anyway. It's just crazy. And then, yeah. Anyway, y'all have anything else to say about this? Because I am DONE.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, let's continue on with our top storylines. We have Trey's christening, which was heard. I love that they hurried and put it together, and then so many people couldn't attend. I mean, the people, I feel like the people who needed to attend, such as, Johnny and Chanel and Leo and Javi and Rafe and Gabi, great. But I'm pretty sure, other family members probably would have liked to have been there, such as Marlena, who was on a girls' trip to Chicago, but coming back, but was going to land late. And, I'm just like, I don't know. It's okay. But the baby is so cute. It's so cute and was quiet. Great. It was beautiful. But I'm going to tell you what ain't beautiful is oh wait, before we get into that, we do have another wonderful sound off, this time from JD, who has some thoughts about Johnny and Chanel.
Hey, Jacarius, aka JD, and I'm from Cleveland, Mississippi. And I just want to share my thoughts for this week's episode of Days by Lives. I really enjoy seeing Johnny and Chanel getting ready for the baby Trey's christening, and I love seeing them together being happy and celebrating a baby's life, and I really enjoy seeing this so much. It's just so heartwarming. Thank you, Dishin Days, for letting me share my thoughts.
Oh, of course. I mean, the christening was very heartwarming. It was, nice touch that baby Trey was wearing Chanel's christening gown. Beautiful gowns. And so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the christening itself was cute, but I feel like it turned into, it went from christening to the Javi Leo show.
Yeah.
Which I just look at that situation and I'm like, I don't get it. And I was trying to understand. I understand this. I understand the situation in which the way Dimitri left, and then to find out it was a lie, I could understand how Javi is kind of like, okay, he's back. I just want to be sure that you're not feeling it. Like, let's really talk about this. But I feel like that's when you step in as a partner, as a husband, to work it out together. And I think if your partner consistently keeps telling you, I want you, I want you, I want you, what are you giving him space for?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's the things that they're saying make sense, but it's not connecting. I'm with you, Tony.
No.
It's just they're pushing the Javi character a little bit too far with it. It's also like I feel like he's giving up too much.
Right.
It's like still fight. Like I understand, yes, you don't ever want to be second choice, and you should never be second choice, especially to your spouse. But also like fight for this relationship, and especially since Leo isn't being portrayed as he's terribly conflicted. Like we know that he's admitted he's there's some lingering feelings there for Dimitri after he kissed him, but it's not like he's he's waffling between these two guys. It's not like he's sitting there wondering, oh, should I go with Javi or Dimitri? No, he very much wants Javi and is very much sad about the Dimitri situation, but he's not someone who seems conflicted about it. So it's not like the whole thing just it's not connecting like it should be.
Yeah. And I like, I always feel like the idea is great. I like the idea of Dimitri coming back.
Mm-hmm.
What I think it should have been focused on was maybe closing chapters and closing things that were maybe left unresolved. So let's have that conversation with Leo and really see how strong Leo and Javi's relationship is, to where, great, Dimitri, I'm back. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that was a lie, but really thinking about it and growing into this Leo, I realized you're not the man for me, and I found the man for me. We're done with that. Okay,
I think
now
we're gonna get there.
Well, we need to get there now. And then Dimitri and Gwen. Now, I like that beef.
Yeah,
with each other. Like I love that whole scene.
That's really what the story is.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
that whole scene in the Brady pub with like the fries and just they're bickering with each other.
Emily O'Brien, you have your Emmy. I know it was like humor and whatever, and you had your mouth full of fries and you were having trouble talking. But please include that. Like, whenever Emily O'Brien as Gwen has to just go off the rails, it's phenomenal to watch. It's very entertaining, and I think I rewinded and watched that scene several times.
Yeah.
It's, but also, I really don't feel
Okay,
like, okay, Megan. I mean, you may not be
Same.
alone, but I really feel like Dimitri owes Gwen a heart-to-heart conversation, because I think there's definitely some residue with what happened and what he ultimately did to her. And I do feel like you can't cut her off, because you wouldn't have that money if she didn't play along. So
good. Sorry.
no, I mean, I still don't. Well, I guess Michael and I did miss it that she did admit that.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
But okay, payback's a bitch. Sorry. But
Yeah, I mean,
we
tit for
both gonna
tat.
be rich and we gonna just live life.
That's the funny part I like. And one of them made a mention to this. I want to say it was Dimitri, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago when he first came back and they were arguing. And either he or she said, we're even now or something. And I was like, oh, that'd be an interesting take. But now that I see them fighting, I actually do agree with both of you, like tit for tat. It's like, you know what? Let's call it a wash.
Mhm.
You messed me over with marrying me and deceiving me. I messed you over with kidnapping you and putting you out of commission for a little while. Let's split this money evenly, and honestly, their chemistry is still there. We know it's not romantic now, but maybe
Mhm.
they're the new villain team, or maybe
Exactly. Yeah, they can team up.
like that.
Because-
That is how I would like to see them. Yeah.
Because wouldn't it be more interesting for them to like resolve, but then they both have a stake in the fact Dimitri wants Leo, but Gwen kind of wants revenge on Leo.
Mhm.
So
I feel like okay, so Gwen, she made a comment to Dimitri about how one of the worst things that he did was ruin her relationship with Maddie, because he was her like true friend. I think she's actually, I don't know. I feel like she's somewhat conflicted about whether she doesn't
is.
show it, but like conflicted about how she feels about Leo.
But I think maybe just for the sake of this, what if we saw a team up of Gwen helping Dimitri get Leo back while also kind of destroying Leo and Javi's relationship? But in a way, Gwen is it's almost like catch-22, like win-win. Like she gets to see him destroyed by losing the love of his life, but Dimitri gets him and she's just like, whatever. But then she comes back around and like, feels bad and wants her friend back. It's classic soap.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
Why couldn't we have that story instead of this whole dramatic thing of like, and I'm not filing our marriage certificate. Okay, so bitch, y'all just wasted all this money. Y'all just wasted all this money to not be married.
Uh-huh.
All Javi is gonna do is drive Leo
into the arms of Dimitri.
Yeah.
So that he can share those fries.
And then he's gonna come back and be like, okay, I'm ready to be together now. And guess what?
They gonna have moved on.
Leo and Dimitri are heated rivalrying all over the place.
Or they should have just had them marry, still have this conflict with the dad, have Javi leave, and then have Dimitri show up. Like, Dimitri like works on Leo basically while Javi's away. They become close. Like, there are different ways to do this where I think it would have made the confliction would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not connecting like it should.
Yeah. No. We have our some other thoughts from fans about the return of Dimitri, and let's hear their thoughts, shall we?
Hi, I'm Patty.
I'm Myrtle Merriweather,
I'm Melissa.
and we're from Tacoma, Washington.
Well, we're here to talk about more things that are bothering us on days. Now, I'm not going to say anything about Jennifer because we've already discussed that, and I think everybody agrees. So let's go into Dimitri. I think he needs to take a hike because poor Leo and Javi deserve a happy ending. And maybe Dimitri's mom should come back and interfere and take him back with her. So then Leo and Javi, when they change the character Javi to the new one, hopefully they're happily ever after. And that's my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
First of all,
They're
I
like,
love this
Megan, come get
generational
your
watching.
boy.
It's like this is how we watch.
Oh
Here's my 2 cents on this. And if anybody's noticed, I've been unusually quiet about this storyline, and it's because I enjoy all of the actors in this storyline so much. Like I have no notes, I have no qualms, no complaints about this, and it's because even though like Dimitri is such a villain and Gwen is such a villain, unlike other people in other storylines, I feel like all of these people in this storyline are coming from very authentic places. And they just need to have some hard conversations. And like, I kind of get where all of them are coming from. So I'm not really, I'm willing to just sit back and watch this and see how it plays out.
Okay.
I just like them all. You know, it's like
Araceli's just happy to be here.
Yeah. I really, when they're all on my screen, I'm just happy to just sit and watch them do their thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like they're all like I love the actors. I adore them. I love like the characters I adore. So it's like no shade, no hate. I see where everybody's coming from.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I just wish it were. I just wish it were a bit different. But you know me, just a fan with open arms. Yeah. Is that it for this storyline?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Was everyone else really responding to this?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, we did get Gwen and Kat, right? The beginning of the week.
Having lunch with each other. Was that?
Kat is still trying to work Gwen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, Kat just feels like she is so sneaky as a ISA agent.
She hasn't been caught though.
Yeah,
Look,
she's got some results.
you got to give her credit. She's been like they've been showing her actually doing the work.
Yeah.
And actually not getting caught.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, great to her. We're going to continue on with our top storylines and head on over to Jeremy Takes the Fall.
Of course he does.
Of course he does.
Of course he does.
To be fair, though, it was I don't want to say genius, but I will give it to the stalker. It was genius to put the fall on Jeremy, to use him as a patsy. That was pretty smart of him.
Yeah.
I am slowly just ready for this to let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up. I want to know who is, bugging gifts and watching. First of all, that's a strong signal.
Yeah.
You sent something from Alemania and you can hear them clear as day as if you just sitting in the room.
Wait, who said? Wait, what?
That's not that. He's in town.
Who?
Yeah, why do you think it's Alemania?
I don't know, because they go into Alemania, so I thought
No. That's a separate storyline. No. That's a separate thing. That's a separate thing, Tony.
What's a separate thing?
Alemania.
That's a different.
That's a whole different storyline. I don't know where you got that from.
Yeah, no one's going to Alemania for Stephanie. They're going to Alemania
wow.
to investigate
the Demira. Yeah.
That is a completely separate storyline, Tony.
But guess what? Both of them have to deal with somebody listening to somebody remotely.
Yeah, but he's probably like a couple blocks away.
So it's already dumb. The fact that you have two people in two separate storylines listening on some sort of device, one from Alamania, one from 2 blocks away, like you could have did something different. Now, as a fan, I am confused. I thought that boy was sitting there listening in on them all the way from Alamania, which also shows that I'm halfway paying attention because the
really
storylines are not connecting.
Okay, all right.
Did anybody else chat? Did anybody else think the man was from Alamania?
No.
Oh, God.
What did we talk about? We've been talking about you need to be a better listener. We all need to be better at our observational skills.
But here's the thing. It just shows how
Okay, that
it's
was
not engaging enough. Like I'm just kind of like, okay, yeah, he's an element or whatever. Okay, fine.
That's no. Okay, pause, Tony, because this storyline I do actually have something to say of.
Dylan
there
did
are
say
very
he
few
also
times-
thought it was possible, so I'm not the only one.
No. There are very few times in the show where the show will surprise me in having me do a 180 on a character. Very rarely happens. But especially when I've dug my heels in. But this week I was firmly on Jeremy's side, not just because he is actually innocent, but because he made some very valid points. In terms of the conversations that he was having with Julie, and in the way that he was honest when he was speaking with her, where he didn't try to hide his feelings. He didn't lie and say that Stephanie wasn't a part of the reason that he came back. He didn't, he was as honest, I think, as he could be about, his regrets and how he felt like maybe she was the one that got away, but he knew he had to respect her boundaries. And then furthermore, talking about how in the police station now, if he admitted to doing something to stalking like that, he would lose his career. And he's right. He would be put on a watch list and he would never be able to teach again, and how that to him was more important than anything else. And God help me. I fell for the guy. I really fell for the guy. And this was a week where I was like, damn it, I really do actually think he's turned his life around. He's not perfect by any means, but this is how you show a character who has done the work.
Yeah, this is the most we've seen of his perspective. I mean, he's been on the show like 6 months, and it's like little dribs and drops here, but it was nice to like finally get this storyline moving a bit. And even weird way, like, I don't know, they like play the fence, which is also weird, where they have like Steve, I think it was after Jada got what's her name? Jeremy brought him in. Steve was saying it still could not be him, it still could be someone else, so I'm gonna stick around here. Like, I mean,
Steve was just trying to figure out a way to be all up in their house.
I know, like the silliness that Steve is like guarding them. Like, I mean, come on, like you're like
he's not guarding them,
dad, and he's great, but like, really,
that's not guarding. You just living there. You are living there. You are not. We always see shots of them in the living room trying to sneak kisses and stuff, and he just coming from the back like, is it okay? Like, he's never like up before them being like looking at dark, like looking at clues and stuff.
But also, like, go home. We'll call you in the morning when we leave. Like, you know what I mean? Why do you need to stay there? Like, no one's breaking in the apartment. No one's coming in.
And then they kept Jeremy all night. And then poor Julie was there all night. Julie, you go home. What were you gonna do?
Julie was very much that busybody. I mean, she's always that busybody white woman, but she's very much that busybody white woman in the police station this week with the faux fur lining the coat and everything.
She did look good though.
She did look. It was almost like out of a caricature. That where it was that good, and yet the things that sometimes happen, like do you Do you know how extreme a storyline has to be for me to agree with Julie Williams on anything?
I don't know.
I mean, she rides for her nephew's cousin. She does. She rides for the whole
Yes,
man.
almost to the point of insanity.
Yeah.
Like, let's be clear. When she did it with Nick, it was not a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
That
One
boy
thing
still, that boy's still listening from Alamania.
The listening device did catch me off guard, and I like that if we think it's who we think it is, I thought that was a nice touch to use EJ, considering there's an EJ connection there with all of them. So I thought that was I was like, oh, that's a really nice like callback to who it might be. Yeah. That was good.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully she get kidnapped soon so that we can realize who it is and we can move on. And we can write this off on one stormy night.
It's not a tax write-off.
Well, that's the name of her book that was written in Alamania.
We don't remember it.
No. All right. And that's it for that storyline, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, those were your top storylines of Days of Our Lives this week, brought to you by the fine folks here at Dishin Days. We are about to move on to our tidbits, but before we do, let's have a gentle reminder of where you can find us. You can find us on social media platforms under Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you are watching us live and in living color as we're floating through the sky of hourglass clouds, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification and show us some love. Also, if you want to show us even more love and join our exclusive members only page, you too can do that too. You can not only join our virtual events, but you can also come and ask questions to guests that we have, get loaded with content. It's all great. So join. Thank you. Also join us on your favorite podcast station, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. In case you can't watch us live, I mean, you should. But if you can't, you can still tune in. And also show some love over to James Lott Jr. at JLJ Media on YouTube and where all podcasts can be found so that you can get your weekly fix of all things soaps. All right. Now, everyone, let's move into our tidbits. Yeah, our little moments throughout the show that weren't really focused on, but focused on enough to where we need to talk about it. First up, we have the Bayview fallout. That's right. Rachel Black and Sophia Choi can never be friends again. Bad influence. But also we discovered that Sophia Choi wants to slap the dog piss out of Holly.
Did we not know that?
You know who didn't know that? The therapist.
That
who found out? The therapist.
That is like the worst therapist ever.
I just cracked up watching these episodes, and then at some point the therapist literally, like Holly was like, you know what? I have something to say now. The therapist was like, fuck it, go ahead.
I know, right? I know.
I
love this therapist. I know she may be horrible, but I'm getting
horrible at her job.
I absolutely love her. Keep this actress around. Make her the new therapist for people. I'm getting a kick out of her.
Make her the new therapist for people. I'm trying to get
she's
people.
Worse than Marlena. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, she's making some missteps, but maybe, do we know her history? Like, she's friends with Marlena, allegedly.
No. Marlena makes missteps, like treating family members where she shouldn't. This is just a bad therapist.
Well, she ain't got.
She doesn't get that involved, which is how she's not.
Like, and so like too many ways to count, this therapist is terrible. Yeah, it's just yeah. And in any case, like, look, Sophia and Ari will never be friends again. Sophia and Holly will never be friends again. Sophia is teetering dangerously close to unleashing what that will look like, we don't know, but it's gonna come. It's gonna come.
It's gonna look
soon.
like this.
Oh no, it's gonna be worse. I know, it's gonna be worse. On the other side of this,
What other side?
on the other side of like on the Holly side of this,
Yes. We waiting for you on the other side.
So
Hello.
Holly doesn't need to feel any guilt anymore, any whatever. She didn't even feel, she can cut the Sophia part out of her life if she wants to, and that would be fine. Because she did her part. She went to Bayview. You know, I think that was like, she felt like the least she could do it. But now it's like the whole thing. Excise this part of your life out. You don't need to be dealing with this anymore. This is now Sophia's problem. Sophia has issues that, go way beyond you. Just cut it out of your life. You don't need it anymore. But because Holly has issues of her own, and I feel like we're going to start to see them a little bit based off of this week's conversations between Holly and Ari, because I'm starting to see that Holly is very much an ambivalent character in terms of seeing what she wants to see. She wants to see like everybody having fun, everybody having a good time. She wants, everybody to go along with her plans. And, it's kind of normal for a teenager, but like, I don't know, that something about the way that she's pushing Ari to join a sorority is just rubbing me the wrong way.
Well, I mean, why? I mean, that's her friend. Like, she's like, girl, let's do this together. Folks don't talk like that.
It's no, some girls do.
I mean, they're gonna get kidnapped too. But like,
no, it's that she's not seeing that Ari is not 100% comfortable with this, and my fear is that Ari is gonna go down this road, try to be a good friend, try to do this thing with her friend, and then she's gonna be put into to a really comfortable position, and Holly's just gonna be like, "Well, you said you wanted to do it." That's where I fear this is going.
I ain't even paid attention that much. I'm like, rah, go and.
I'm sorry. I have to pay attention to a lot of the peer pressure when it comes to kids.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not paying attention because I'm over here in Alemania trying to figure out how this person is listening to two people who apparently isn't listening to the people that I think he's listening to.
No.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it was a long time coming. I mean, I would have liked either one of them to make contact. I felt like I don't know, they both have reason to want to slap the shit out of each other. So,
but now I bet you this: now that therapist is so good at her job and told her the quicker you heal yourself, the quicker you can get back to your regular life. She's like, "Oh, bet I'm about to start talking soon. I'm about to get up out of here."
Baby, you didn't say that sooner.
You said you should have told me that. I wouldn't have had to sneak around.
No, she already knows that because remember she's been telling Rachel that the quickest way to get them off your back is to tell them what they want to hear.
Sure, but now she has confirmation of like, get well now, honey, so that you can be back out to your life. And she's like, playing in action.
No. I do still appreciate Rachel Boyd as Sophia, just the way her acting in these scenes and like the shit ass grin when Holly was telling her off. I was like, I like this.
Yeah.
She was looking at her like, but I'm sorry, that prep for that slap, that had got me. I was in the gym laughing. I was hollering. She was just like, and I was like, "Ooh, girl!"
Like that would have hurt.
That would have
been yeah.
Anyway, I'm also tired of Brady and Days writers.
I know we get Brady.
Please, can we evolve Brady and Kristen? Please. You know, when she was getting good dick from, who was it, Alex?
Alex.
Yeah.
We had a breath of fresh air.
Well, you know what? I'll give it to them halfway. They got halfway there because we got some good evolution from Kristen this week. I felt like where
We
she's
got
like
some evolution, but then I feel like she just went at the very end there. She just went back to same old Kristen, and it was like, oh, come on, we were like almost there, and
yeah. But I think it's just because she doesn't,
and then regressed.
I think she just doesn't know how to communicate what she's feeling to Brady because I think she stood up for herself in a really good way this week and saying, I know we're never getting back together. I don't want to get back together the way you keep talking to me. I know that. But I think she doesn't know how to communicate her disapproval of his choices without it being sounding petty. Because she can be right. She just doesn't know how to communicate it.
Her presentation is not great.
Yeah.
Coming off like jealous lover instead of sitting down having a rational conversation. Like that wasn't the time to bring up your disapproval of Sarah. And again, it's coming from the fact of like, oh, you know, we need to be all hands on deck with Rachel. Maybe this isn't the right time.
Yeah.
Which may or may not be a point. I think that's debatable whether, again, we're getting into other people defining other people's relationships and who they can be with and when they could be with someone. So I think that's debatable, but I think she has a right to say it, just not in that argument. Like save that for a different time and bring it up to him. And it actually could have came like Brady's not going to do it. Of course, he's going to, you know, do what he wants to do, which he should, but it would have come off a lot better than now. It just reverted back to she's the jealous ex who doesn't want him to be happy with someone new. And, you know,
No, I'm just listening.
One step forward, two steps back. Yeah.
Always with these two.
Yeah.
Over it.
We're over it.
I just feel like by now, like, especially with the state that Rachel is in, like, Rachel needs to be the priority. And whatever normal argument that they usually have needs to subside, and they need to start taking care of their daughter. And we just need to get past. We need to get past jealousy. We need to get past the want. It's like it's about Rachel, and just go live your life. Brady don't want you. You don't want Brady. Like just go find something else to do, Henny. Jesus. All right, next. That wonderful book club.
This was just weird. This was just I didn't get it.
Marlena, stay home.
Yeah, it's
stay
just,
home.
It's too much. It's ridiculous how we're trying to lump. I think it's because now we have 3 widows on the show, but they're all in different stages of their mourning. Like, please, you can't lump them together. They're not in the same stage.
But listen, Marlena was fine. She read the book. She showed up. She was listening. Like, just let her just be, you know? And I think maybe the precursor, it shouldn't be called a bereavement book club.
Yeah.
It just should be called, you know, this is the book that we're doing. And we chose this book because we're all dealing with like healing and everything like that. And this is what, you know, we're going to do. Julie made that joke and Marlene was like, yeah, I know you're joking, but yeah, I'm finna go.
I mean, look, I'm not as active in book clubs as other people are, but to my knowledge, book clubs are supposed to be a place where you they have different topics, you know, usually based on genre, but they're typically supposed to be a place where you get together, you know, and have fun. You know, you're not supposed to sit together and be depressed. I mean, you could go to your therapist's office for that.
Mm-hmm.
But
I just feel like a bereavement book club is just such a odd and bad idea.
But also, what's the point of
That's
this?
probably
They're
a
like they're not
bad
even having interesting conversation. I think there's like
Right.
there maybe is a storyline here to be like, oh, we have 3 widows on the show who all lost their husband, and maybe there's something interesting to say about that, but they're not saying it. Then it's sort of this weird offshoot of this Marlena storyline that we thought we were gonna get, what, 8 months ago, a year ago, where the Stefano stuff came into play, then that went away. Now she's just regularly grieving, and I don't. It's so odd. And then now she's gonna like not run but oversee Basic Black, business she's never had anything to do with in the last 20 something
Lord
years.
have mercy.
Oh, like what do we do? That's like, what are they doing with this character? I feel like they don't know what to do with her or something.
with
I don't know.
Marlena.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
odd.
The business part of it, I'm like, that's not Marlena
No, it's a
at
That's
all.
terrible
I
idea.
was more
horrible
for
idea.
like,
What does that have to do with Marlena?
yeah, I was more for like the conversation with Sarah and Marlena, and
Yeah,
she
that
like
was-
there was an idea of like coming back part-timers, I think,
Yeah.
something, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, go back to work, like it. And they had created storylines around her being, her storylines had been, what am I trying to say? Marlena has had storylines based on her work,
Yeah.
like a crazy
Mhm.
client, or like when Susan came in, and they kind of started to have that when Xander was seeing her.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like her going into the Basic Black realm, that just,
Ridiculous.
as of now, it doesn't quite land. Now
No,
let's
it
see what
doesn't
they do
land.
with it. But if they even do anything with it,
No, like that. Look, they need to give Marlena some kind of a challenge, some kind of a purpose going forward that really settles into who she is as a character, what she does. I got one for you right now. She could teach an adjunct class. She could be an adjunct professor at Salem U.
Oh.
Have her teach a psychology class. That's right in her wheelhouse. She wouldn't have to go back to full-time with her patients, but it's still a good use of her intellect, of her time. It's something that's hers in the way that the bookstore is for Julie. You need, and in the way that the business is, and keeping the Kyriakis boys in line is for Maggie. You need to this post husband chapter of her life needs to be about her, and it needs to be about her finding her place in the world going forward.
I was even thinking like maybe like some psychology, like profiling for like the ISA or something, or
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That like
different ways-
makes her closer to John or something like that, or they can
like
play
if
that
they
part
like,
of
I
it.
can see it. Like Kat and Rafe start talking about how they need a psychiatrist, and then Kat's like, "Well, I know." Like bring Marlena into it.
There's there's lots of different things they could do.
And the other thing they may be struggling with from writing for Marlena is, for a very long time, her storylines were Marlena in distress, John saves her.
Yeah.
Marlena in distress, John saves her. They don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
So it could be that they're struggling to figure out what
Who
direction.
can save her now?
John's company is in distress. Marlena saves it is not
Yeah.
the follow-up
No,
story
no,
we need.
No. So yeah, and
Give
we
her
may just
something where
kinda
she's
go
the
along with
star
it.
and she's the focal point and she's doing something either heroic or interesting or new, but the Basic Black stuff seems odd. It's
Yeah.
And again, it's not even
Like-
John. Like they keep saying, it's not even really John's legacy. It's more
not.
Brady's legacy. Like it was a front. This like John barely cared about the company. He had maybe a couple storylines with the company over the 20-something years. Like it's he did it. It was a front for him for the ISA. Kate ran it for him. Like then Brady worked there, and then he kind of had it. It's really Brady's legacy than it is John's. Like I don't know. It's so
And
odd.
Brady doesn't want it.
Yeah, I know. It's like let it go.
Ugh,
Let it go. Like we gonna let this storyline go.
thank God.
All right. Well, that was a wonderful book club.
Book clubs are supposed to be about good wine and good snacks.
Well, that's any club. Deja Vu with Theo, JJ, and Gabi and Philip.
It was a good reconnection for JJ and Theo.
Mhm.
Put that.
Well,
that
he ain't mad no
chapter to
more
bed.
suddenly.
Yeah.
Well-
Okay. Right. I was like,
Walk-
okay. He's not mad today. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
He's not. And
Walk.
'cause I was
JJ could walk
expecting-
in with some burgers, and he was just like JJ, and I was like, "Ain't you supposed to be mad at him?"
I had the same thought,
Just
and I was
put
like,
it-
okay, I guess we're. And then they kind of talked through it, and like, well, I know I've given you a hard time, and it's like, yeah, you sure have. Now you're all okay. You're all
Nah.
bros.
Not how long Theo's gonna be in that bed. That mattress deserves a guest credit.
At least they're not doing them like Lamone and giving the mannequin.
Only
with-
showing him like
the light skinned mannequin that they put in the bed to fool us. That was Lamone.
so. But they did remind us of something, and they did what I've. And
What?
I was like, oh, I need to pay attention now. They were reminding us that Theo knew that.
About Gabby's
Theo knew
role.
about Gabby helping.
Oh, yeah.
Tony.
Tony.
I had completely forgot. I was like, oh yeah, Tony. Oh yeah, oh right. Because I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but it was long
Yeah.
enough, and it
Yeah.
hadn't been referenced that I had forgotten it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
But-
they say stuff, and then it's like, when that happened?
Yeah, but I don't like why the reason why they brought it up. What they're leaning towards that they brought up last week, that Theo is kind of getting a little crush on Gabby. No.
Oh, see, that last week, yeah, was weird, but this week I took it more of like he's like, what's the name's wingman. That's how I took it this week with him bringing it up.
I don't think so. And even if it was, I still wouldn't be okay with it.
Yeah, because he was talking about it with JJ. Because remember, he was basically
Ugh.
talking about regret about Gabby and saying like, "Oh, well, I wouldn't worry so much about Philip." I thought that was his way of saying like, don't, you still might have a shot there, JJ.
Oh, because if Philip finds out what Gabby
Because
did,
Philip finds
that would
out
be
he's
the end
gonna
of the
dump her, and
relationship.
then yeah, that's how I took it.
But then there was the dream. of-
Yeah.
No.
and so they did kind of
No.
hint on it. So they haven't solidified
No.
any kind of direction with
No.
Theo. If he's gonna be, JJ's kind of wingman in that,
Yeah.
or whether he wants Gabby, whether this is gonna be like three young men, go Gabby,
No.
vying for her attention. I guess she's
And
young.
it's-
She's still young too.
And is
No.
this what breaks up JJ and Theo again now? Like this is another obstacle to their friendship now.
Rivals
Well,
in
that-
love.
That Gabby JJ train has left the station so long ago, we don't even know where it's at.
Yeah.
No, you
Yeah.
kind of forget about it. Yeah.
Yeah, but there are some like potential parents you think oh maybe, and I'm telling you no. The file this under the Roman
Never gonna
Nicole
get it, never
thing
gonna
that
get
we
it, never
want to
gonna
forget
get
ever
it.
happened. There are things that we would like to forget ever happened. Filed under there.
I will say I did love that they referenced that like the Gabby Philip Stefan situation is that's why I put deja vu. It's similar to what oh god, which one did they compared it to? Was it Leo, Javi, and then Dimitri now?
Yeah,
Basically
uh-huh.
someone else, one of their spouses is being kept away from them and the other person is moving on with their life. Like I thought that was clever to like sort of combine or make reference that those two are in a similar situation.
Yeah.
Except that Gabby doesn't know that it's
Yeah,
a
she
similar
doesn't know. That's
situation.
the thing.
She thinks it's different, but it's actually very much the same.
It's actually the same, yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, that was your week of days. And before we close out our discussion on this week and get to our segments, we got one more little sound off for you, brought to you by the newest segment here, Thumbs Up, Thumbs Down with Debbie Bright.
Hey, it's Debbie here from Franklin, Tennessee. I want to give my thumbs up and thumbs down for this week. Thumbs up to Miss Julie. Honey, you my sister in spirit this week. You let them have it about framing Jeremy. And I loved how you critiqued the Salem PD to Jada. Good girl. Thumbs down. Jada girl, you're letting your friendship with Miss Stephanie cloud your judgment. Don't be like Rafe. Bye.
Okay, Debbie.
Speaking,
Don't be like Rafe.
Don't be like Rave. Bye.
Oh, that should be one of our new slogans.
Oh my
Don't be
God.
Just
Don't
take
be like Rafe.
everyone should take that as a standing recommendation.
Oh,
Don't be like Rafe. Bye.
Don't be like Rave. Bye.
my God.
Oh, goodness. Well, thank you, everyone. That was our week of days. And now we are heading into our segment. And we are going to start with mine, which is Tootie's official 3 Snaps Award.
Oh, snap! Oh, snap!
I've been talking about it all show. My 3 Snaps Award goes to Rachel Boyd, Sophia Choi, for her immediate reaction to Holly, wanting to slap the ever-living life out of her, and then writing a hard note that said, I hate her. So, Rachel Boyd, you better work these scenes, honey. And that look at that therapist. She didn't even know what she was in for. Didn't know what she was in for at all. So Rachel Boyd, Sophia Choi, you get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award.
Oh, snap!
Or slaps. And now it's time for Caption That.
All right. This caption that comes courtesy of Gwen and Dimitri and the Fry incident, as I'll call it. And this week's caption goes to Annette Thompson with her caption, I'm so mad Dr. Pepper didn't use my jingle. I'm going to eat all your fries.
Dr. Pepper, baby. It's good and nice. Doo-doo-doo. Oh my God, don't sue me for that. That was from
You're going to get a copyright flag. We're going to get a copyright flag.
Right. Wow. And that was
Uh-oh.
Caption That. Also, congratulations, Annette, on getting the caption that this week. We're
not paying you for it like the Dr. Pepper jingle, but
nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. You just get a thank you. Let's go back in time, shall we?
Those were the days.
All right, I'm taking you back to January 20th, 1998. This is when Mike Horton told a very elated Billy that she was, in fact, pregnant. Here you see Hope around the corner, being very disappointed about hearing the news. This, of course, is Billy pregnant with Georgia, who eventually will become Chelsea later on. But yeah, this was, and Hope, of course, is disappointed because she knows how strong the bond is with Billy and Bo, and that is most likely Bo's baby, and that the one thing she sort of had on Billy was that she was the mother of his child. So this kind of puts them on even playing ground, so to speak. So yeah, January 20th, 1998, when Billy found out that she was pregnant.
It was also interesting that Billy, I remember back when like Billy had no pregnancy symptoms and she was like, they had slept together over the summer. This was January.
Oh, and then she just realized she was pregnant.
And she passed, and it was like she's 5 months along and just, yeah.
Well, I guess it's possible.
I guess. Because they're women that have babies, don't even know they're pregnant. So
that's true.
They like it. I love it.
Same. And that was
Those were the days.
And now it's time for It's a Gift.
And this week's It's a Gift goes to Miss Busybody Julie Williams in the one, hopefully only time I will relate to her, as she's literally pulling her hair out at the police station. And girl, let me just tell you, it's a good thing that we both have thick hair, because the amount of times that we have to pull our hair out when talking to stupid people or people who are not listening to us, I feel you.
She was living. She said, I'm also going to give you fierceness.
Right. Really look good.
And that was
It's a Gift.
Yes. And now it is time for
news and gossip.
All right, starting off with some casting / anniversary news. It has been released that we are getting the lovely Vivian Alamain back in. Louise Hareld is coming back to the show this coming week. No word on how long she stays or sticks around, but it's always fun when Vivian, aka Louise Hareld, returns. So I think she's been the topic of conversation for the last few weeks now. So only fitting she makes a return this week and gets mixed up in this Demira, Stefan, Peter kind of plot line. We'll see. But yeah, always nice to have Louise Hareld back. And then we want to give a very, very special, literally today, it is the 30th anniversary of Lauren Koslow. It's funny because I remember us talking about the 25th anniversary 5 years ago, of course, and how monumental that was. But happy 30th anniversary. It's 30 years of playing, and I had to look this up to make sure I got it right, of Lauren Koslow playing Kate, Reed, Roberts, Kyriakis, Brady, Demira, Brady. From her very, very first scene, gutting fish on the boat, which I actually remember watching and remember when they did the switch. And the audience we fell in love with, and the audience fell in love with her version of Kate. So big, big happy 30th anniversary to Lauren Koslow as Kate.
Yeah.
30 years without any breaks. She has not left the show. She has not been let go from the show. She may be, it may ebb and flow how visible she is on screen, but that's 30 consecutive years. That's a big feat.
Yes.
Yep.
Unless you think Sammy Brady wins the record for most last names on the show. Kate has her beat. All right. Next up, happy birthday to Sal Stowers, who celebrated the big 4-0 this week. She had a beautiful photo shoot. She also had I saw a girls only brunch this week with her favorite ladies, and she looks gorgeous. Seriously, 40. I don't believe it.
I know.
I do not believe it.
We age gracefully.
Next up, in the new segment that Days Peacock is doing on their socials, it's a Salem confessionals between Brady versus Xander, where they sit down as their characters to air out their grievances with one another. Who made the better case? You decide. You can see that video on the Days Peacock socials right now. And you can also see our very own James Reynolds sit down with his co-star Greg Ecker and Rebecca Budig on their Soapy podcast for an incredibly insightful interview on James's career, the world of minorities in the entertainment industry, and his perspective on racial injustices. This man just you sit down and talk with him. It's you can't ever stop talking with him. He's such a good conversationalist. You can check out the interview right now on CBS's YouTube channel under Soapy Podcast.
And next up, we have this made my week this week. If you have not seen this video of Lamone Archie basically found where they store all the wigs for his daytime castmates and decide to have a little fun, of course, with the assist of his on-screen wife, Miss Sal Stowers. Lamone treated us to a wig fitting of some of your favorite characters. Will Horton, Marlena, Abigail, Abe, and of course this one, which is Jack Devereaux. This one made me lose it because this is literally how Matt Ashford poses when he takes the pic. When this popped up, I screamed. This whole video is so effing funny. Go check it out. It's still up. It's on Lamone's social, at Lamone Archie on Instagram. It's just it's funny. It's the shenanigans that he and Sal used to get into before in the videos they used to make. They are back, and so we are seeing some more of them behind the scenes. So go check it out. It's hilarious.
I totally missed that. That's his pose until you just said that.
Once he did it, I was like, "Oh my god!" I burst out laughing because that is Matt Ashford right there.
A+ acting, Lamone. A+. Next up, Jackie Harry is doing a little press tour and kind of getting in front of a story that you probably already figured, that she did have a little mini facelift done recently. And she has talked about, I think she has confirmed publicly that she is also on a is it the JPL or JPLP? I never forget the letters. The weight loss drugs. Anyways, and she said that in regards to her facelift, that the procedure went well, and she's having a lot of fun being open and honest about the decision to have it and her recovery. And you can hear the whole scandalous story on Tuesday when Jackie visits the Cameron Hall show. But I think it's a segment is going around right now about it. So we are sending healing and well wishes to Jackie, because you do what you do, you girl. You do what you love.
Mm-hmm. It looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next up, just a quick reminder. We mentioned this earlier, but just a reminder, the Starstruck fan event, the Misery Loves Company one, is happening Sunday, February 15th. Again, this includes a ticket to the play, the reception after, and some photo ops. Tickets and info, starstruckfanevents.com. Or if you just happen to be in LA and actually just want to see the play, you can go to miseryplayla.com.
Yes. And we have some Star Image Entertainment events coming up. The first is going to be a virtual Q&A Zoom with Brady and Kristen, our very own Eric Martzoff and Stacey Hyduke. That'll be on February 9th. Then their big event has been announced, the Days in Nashville, dinner, acoustic concert, karaoke, and dancing. So it's going to be a big one. This will be next October 3rd, 2026 in Nashville. So for tickets and information on both of these events, go to eventbrite.ca and search Star Image Entertainment.
On October 3rd, he asked me what day it was.
October 3rd.
I wonder how many times that'll be passed around that day.
You know, Jonathan Bennett's going to post about it.
Oh, of course.
Hey, last year he monetized off of it. That to me was smarter.
He's monetized off of it his entire career.
No, but last year was like a full-on commercial.
He's got a book. He made a book out of it, and he's writing that.
Cookbook.
He's writing that for the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm.
Writing that and his husband.
Oh.
No.
And exactly what this is the point of this story where I say Michael Madison needs to stop his 9th rewatch of Heated Rivalry.
Well, not the 9th.
And last but not least, our very own Mr. Michael Mattis, photographer to the stars, was on the red carpet for
not photographer to the stars
of the new movie we've been telling you about, Our Murder Between Friends. Attendees included star and co-director Jacob Young, of course you see Dame Joan Collins, and former Days cast members Darren Brooks and Vincent Irizarry, among others. So how was that, Michael? How was that being on the red carpet for that one?
It was fun. It was a nice little chill event. It was run by Andrea and Heather, who are Days' PR team. So yeah, it was fun. Good time.
Yeah.
Good time.
And interesting, like Joan Collins, getting to photograph her. She's like legendary. So that she, came out all made up and stuff was nice. And Diane Cannon, I guess they've been friends forever, so she was there too. And
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got my parking validated, so
the things that make us happy in this town.
Okay.
It's always a plus.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
And that's me, huh?
Yes, that's you too.
That has been. Oh,
my bad.
Oh,
we can't get
News and gossip.
And now it's time to find out what's happening this week on Peacock's Days of Our Lives.
Next week on Days of Our Lives.
We brought the brats back to life.
You know who the bones belong to?
The bones belong to your father.
He will definitely show up for this. We'll make sure he sees an opportunity to get Stephanie alone. And that's when we'll nab him.
But it looks like the man that you are tutoring may have helped kidnap your son.
Do you still hate the von Leuschners as much as you used to?
More.
Oh, next week's gonna be a good week. And this will be the first time I say it, but not the last time I say it. I told you so, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so.
What'd you tell us?
That those bones were Stefano's.
Didn't I say that too?
Well, that has been Dishin Days, everybody. Tune in next Sunday where we'll give you a full dish of this coming week's episodes of Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning hit soap opera Days of Our Lives. But before we head out, Michael Mattis, tell the folks where they can find all of your stunt shows and shenanigans.
You can follow me on Instagram and X at MLMattis and at MLM Images LA.
Justin Lee Hareld.
Find me on Instagram at Justin Lee Hareld.
Araceli.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Tia323 Araceli.
And you can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony. And you can find us at Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another rebel-rousing episode of Dishin Days. We will be back next week to give you another lowdown of the showdown in Salem as we go over this coming week's episodes of Peacock's Days of Our Lives. In the meantime, everyone, enjoy yourself. Have a wonderful week. And come on back now. You hear? All right.
And stay warm.
And stay safe for those of you on the East Coast dealing with that snowstorm. Yeah.
Oh my God. Stay inside.
And don't be like Rafe. Bye.